the Baltimore Orioles have had a very successful, really time, I guess, month and, an additional 4 days. June was amazing for them, over 500. And since the start of June, as of recording, they are 16-14. They've been very good, especially considering their standards with how bad they've been in the last couple of years. It's big improvement for them. So hopefully for baseball, they can continue because they do have some bright futures on their team. I'm here with Doug and Patrick. My name is Derek. This is the Baltimore Orioles. Hot start, and let's get straight into this video. So the Orioles, they've been very good since the start of June. 16-4, very good. Their bullpen's been elite. The offense has been kind of middle of the road, but they've had bright spots for sure. The rotation could definitely use some help. But they're, the big thing for them is progress, and they've done that. I'll go to Pat first. Just thoughts on the Orioles.
Hold on. Before you go to Pat, just have to correct you. 16-14.
Why did I say 4? I said 4.
You did that while we were prepping for this video too. Yep. If the Orioles went 16-4 in a 20-game stretch, we would be having another good conversation about this.
Oh no, I'd be having enough of it. I'd be going crazy.
All right, Pat, go ahead.
Okay. I can't believe I did that again.
I'll give you a break, Derek. I don't know if you're going to edit or something. Yeah, so the Orioles have been bad for a long time, and June was their first winning month in 58 months, and that's a big deal, For some reason, all the national baseball writers like to poo on the Orioles and like to pick them apart for different things. But at this point, they have a better record than 10 different teams or something in the league. And they're, I don't want to say they're legit, but considering the division that they're in, they wouldn't be in fifth in a lot of divisions. And they're doing the exact kind of thing that I said that they'd be doing at the beginning of the year, which is they've got some guys that have been around for a couple of years. Right, the Trey Mancinis, the Austin Hayes, the Cedric Mullins of the world, trying to hold it down while they try and bring up some guys, right? Namely Adley Rutschman, right, who I think is, as of today, is going to officially graduate from prospect status and is going to no longer be the number one prospect. He's a major league player now. And the vibe at Camden Yards has completely changed. Maybe attendance hasn't changed too much. I went to the 4th of July game yesterday as of recording this, and it was the first 4th of July game since 2008 at Camden Yards. I thought that would mean something, and attendance was still pitiful. But but I think that the better this team gets, and the more names they have, and the more these guys they have become names, that vibe is gonna spread out, and it's gonna be a real party at Camden.
Yeah, and it does help too. Yes, Adley Rutschman's not going to be the number one prospect in baseball, but Riley Green's going to lose his prospect status too. And guess who means that's going to be the number one prospect in baseball? Grayson Rodriguez, who we just did a prospect pipeline on, who is of the Baltimore Orioles. So the Orioles, they got two very good prospects. Adley Rutschman's about to not be a prospect. Rodriguez injured right now, but it just shows the bright future the Orioles have. Plus, they have the first overall pick in this year's draft. So they have a bright future ahead of them. They are building for the future. And some of these things, they take time. Sometimes they take time. But the Orioles haven't rushed it. And it looks like it's starting to pay dividends.
You guys remember what a laughingstock Houston used to be? They got bullied into the American League, and they lost 100 games a bunch of times, and their uniforms were ugly, and they were just a huge joke. And now look at them, right? They're in every ALCS, and they win the division every year. Maybe not guaranteed to be the same future as Houston, but they do have former Houston GM Mike Elias, and I think that's got a lot to do with it. He's following the same blueprint, and it's working.
Yeah, no, it's so valuable to have a GM who's also done a similar thing before as well. And you look at like the Red Sox bringing in Heimboom, a guy who was with the Rays and building up that depth and having depth. And what's he doing with the Red Sox? Getting depth and building that depth and developing that depth. The Orioles are in a full blown rebuild. They needed a guy who could legitimately be patient with it, draft who they need to draft, develop who they need to develop, trade who they need to trade, and bring up this young crop of guys and develop them and get them, and eventually turn yourself into a winner. And the Orioles are in that process, and they're doing it with a guy who, as you said, has done it with the Astros before, which I think is huge.
Doug,
So,
what do you want to add?
I guess I'll chime in now.
Yeah.
So, they were probably cursed on July 4th because they had a 1:00 start, I think, right? Yeah. So everyone's still hungover from the weekend,
Yeah. Monday, July 4th.
We did all of our fireworks on July 3rd, so we were up late, and I know I was hungover that day, which is why I did not go.
You missed it on the hot dog t-shirt.
Yeah. Well, I'll make up for it by getting the Birdland Hawaiian shirt this week.
Yeah.
Dude, I love the Orioles this year. They're great. The reason why, the number one reason right now why I think they're so much better is because they're not bending over and taking it from the rest of the AL East.
Yeah.
You can edit that if you want, but
no, but it's true. It's true though, because you look at the American League, there's only 7 teams over 500. 4 of them are in the American League East, 2 in the AL Central, 1 in the AL West, the Astros. There's 8 teams under 500. If you don't include the Orioles, there's 7, and they're all in other divisions from the Orioles. So the teams they're gonna beat up on are gonna be that, or at least the teams that they're gonna be the most competitive against, I should say, is teams in the AL Central, teams in the AL West. Just like the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Blue Jays, the Rays, they need to beat up on those divisions because you're just going to beat up on each other in the AL East, and you're just going to kind of split series or maybe win 2-1 or whatever. But it's not going to be just overwhelming for the most part in the AL East.
Yeah, the Orioles actually have a better record against AL East opponents than the Red Sox do, so that's fun. They're 15-19 against the American League East, right? So the Yankees aren't winning 16 games against them.
Well, the Rays aren't going 18-1 against them this year.
Oh, that's right. That's what it was. Well, that was like last year, 2 years ago.
That was last year, yeah. That was last year. Yeah,
the Rays aren't going 18-1 against the Orioles, right? And that may be why Tampa Bay is in 4th place right now. They're not beating up on the lowly Orioles. So I know Pat mentioned, the Mancinis, the Hayes, Mullins is getting it going too. People are starting to work, right? Mullins kind of was blah for the first couple of weeks, and he's 7 home runs and I think 16 stolen bases, something like that. So he's getting it going. Odor has a couple of walk-off hits. They're winning series against the Rays, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays. I don't know how well they've done against the Yankees this year, but they're competitive against them, and they're competitive against everyone.
And that's a credit to the Orioles.
Yeah, before they were incredibly unwatchable bad, right? But now they're watchable bad.
Yeah,
right.
When you go 47 and 115. Yeah, when you go 47 and 115 in 2018, I mean, the fact that you somehow figured out a way to lose 115 games is mind blowing. But I think
they're going to win 70 games this year.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Well, for the Orioles, it's progress. I mean, that's the big thing. They need progress, and they're getting it. And I think too, you got to really look at what's the goal for the Orioles. Well, here's the thing. You're bringing up this young crop. They could use some pitching help, though. But I think the difference between last year and this year, their bullpen is elite. They've they moved some starters to the bullpen, and it's not just like I know Lopez, the back of the pen's been good for them, like stellar for them. But it's not just like one guy that they moved from starting to the bullpen. They've moved like 3 or 4 guys from rotation to the bullpen, and they're all working out. Plus the couple bullpen guys that they've gotten extra from this year. Like, their bullpen's stellar. Now they do got to figure out the rotation. And Grayson Rodriguez, once he's healthy, probably next year will help out a lot with the rotation. But
And they'll have John Means back.
Yeah, John Means too.
Yep, he's been their ace the past couple of years.
Yeah, exactly. It's huge to have that. And continue developing the lineup and all that stuff. Just continue developing. You're going to get another top prospect this year. It is going to be a position player. You're not taking a pitcher with the first pick. We'll see who it ends up being. But they're going to get another top prospect, guy who in a year might even be in the top 10, might be a top 10 prospect, depending on how they start their pro career. So the trajectory is just going up.
Yeah, they have 5 guys in the back of their bullpen that are having, wonderful years. They got 4 guys, 1.1, 1.3, 1.3, 1.5 WAR in a bullpen, all under 3 ERAs. Lopez 188, Kriebel 257, Dylan Tate 211, Keegan Aiken 231 ERA, and Felix Bautista 139 ERA. Like, that might be one of the best bullpens in the American
League. It is. The fourth best bullpen by bullpen ERA in the in the MLB in the month of June.
Yeah, that's just insane. And they got like 30, 40, 50 innings pitched with those ERAs. So they're not losing games late. They're losing them early because their starting pitching isn't great, which gives their offense a chance to come back. I know most clubs are built a little differently where they rely on their starters and then, you want your relievers to hold it. But I did want to mention, because I did find I got a cool baseball card on him, his rookie card last year, Dean Kramer. This year he's 2-1, 6 starts, 32 innings pitched, 2.48 ERA. So
his ERA was like below 2 before yesterday. Yesterday he gave up 5. It was kind of rough, but it was solid before that.
Yeah. That's great. Like, so there's a bright spot, right? They're doing something right. And like I think Derek said, you just want to get these guys some experience, and especially the younger guys. You get them some experience, and then they have confidence going into next year. They're not getting blown out. They're not getting creamed. They're not just rolling over. They're playing good games, and it's nice to see. And then we didn't even mention Rutschman, the number 1 prospect, come up, and he's going to be the catcher for at least 6 years, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I had some bozo on Twitter the other day try and tell me that catcher ERA is useless. And I refuse to believe that that's true, right? You've got a guy like Adley Rutschman leading your pitching staff, and in a way, with such confidence, and he's so great at framing pitches, and he has great relationships with umpires, and having him will make a huge difference with those pitchers who maybe can't go quite 6 innings now, right? Adley can help them get out of a couple spots, and they will give a little space to the bullpen. Those guys have to pitch less. They'll pitch better. It's just this constant thing, on top of the fact that he can, tie the game up in the bottom of the ninth like he did yesterday.
Yeah. And the thing is too, the Orioles, and the whole thing, like I've said, is progress. But 8 of their out of their top 8 prospects, all but 1 has an MLB ETA of 2022 or 2023. These guys are coming. Now that doesn't mean they're all.
I'm sorry, Derek. I think it's 9 of their 11 top prospects are all in AA or above now.
It's probably something like that.
So they're coming in hot.
Yeah, and the thing is that it's you have Adley Rutschman, Grayson Rodriguez, that top stellar talent. But Gunnar Henderson, it's their 2nd round pick in 2019. Colton Cowser was the 5th overall pick last year. DL Hall, Jordan Westbrook, Cody Mayo, Kyle Stowers. these guys are coming and they're coming quick. They're getting to the big leagues quickly. They're progressing very fast, and it's good for the Orioles because this whole thing for the Orioles is they're building it through the pipeline, just like the Astros did, and it's been very solid for them.
So I wonder at what point does the front office sit back and say, all right, we got all these guys up now. We're going to have them for a couple of years, right? And we got all these guys coming up in the minors. At what point do we have 2 shortstops? Do we have 2, right fielders, 2 left fielders? All right. So we could trade this guy. We could trade this guy. At what point do we see that, that first, either trade for a solid pitcher or that free agent signing, right? Because it's going to happen, right?
I think it's going to happen this offseason.
All these guys can't come up at the same time. All right.
Yeah.
And they're going to be position blocked, right? So unless they switch positions and you don't want to have your whole lineup come from the minors, right? You got to augment with a free agent or, trade. So, when that first thing happens, like it's going to happen soon to where it's going to signal Birdland saying we're ready,
Yeah.
And that might even say, let's just think of this. Say it happens at this trade deadline, right? They're only 6.5 games out of a wild card spot. What happens if that's not a lot?
Here's my only thing on that.
They win 6 in a row, and now they're like a game and a half back.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. No, it's not bad. The only thing is though, the problem is they have to play the AL East up a lot, and it's not that they couldn't. It's not that they couldn't.
Oh
my God.
Get this guy off the video.
No, I'm being realistic. And if you're the Orioles, could just continue steady building the season, continue that steady build. In the offseason, go out. If Carlos Rodon declines his player option, which I think he will, go out and try and sign him. Or go out and try and sign a pitcher. They could go out and sign someone, get an ace, or at least something close to that. Do that, and you go sign someone, and you add that on top of Grayson Rodriguez and John Means. That's a solid top 3 of a rotation, and they're still building. Maybe go and sign a position player. To maybe not some amazing position player, but a guy who knows solid to maybe a 2 or 3 year deal, and just continue to build.
You just pooped all over the mojo of this video, Derek.
It's positive. It's like legitimately just keep on building. Just
they're going to win. They're going to win series against the Red Sox, which they've been doing, and I don't think they want to play the Yankees like one more time at this point. So who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. Hopefully they're done. That's why the Yankees are freaking 58 wins, because they played the Orioles.
I wish that was the reason.
You hear that, Barnes? You hear that, John? That's why. That's why you guys are 58 and 20, whatever you are.
I wish that was the reason.
But listen, no, I got to hammer this point. If they go out on the trade deadline and get someone, and that signals to the rest of them that, hey, we're in it. 6.5 games is not a lot. It is, but it isn't, right? It's doable. You're not out. At this point in prior seasons, the Orioles are out, right? And the players know that, the coaches know it, everyone knows it, right? But all it takes is the front office to come up and say, hey, right now it's time to nut up or shut up. And they nut up. They could, that'll fire some people up, man.
Yeah,
that'll fire some players up.
It will.
And that might be what they need. Like, holy shit, we have a shot. Management thinks we have a shot. The front office thinks we have a shot. Let's do it, and let's go for it.
My only worry is that they have to jump Cleveland, who's one of Cleveland or Minnesota, whoever doesn't win that division. Seattle's 7-3 in their last 10 and won 4 in a row. They still would have to jump the White Sox and Texas as well, and I doubt the Angels.
I don't believe in any of those teams. I don't believe in any of those teams.
I believe in Cleveland.
Remember in the offseason when I said that the Toronto Blue Jays would be a 4th place team?
Yeah.
Hold on.
No, don't do it.
I'm about to blow all of your minds right here. You heard it first right here. Bleacher Brawls YouTube. The Orioles will be a 4th place team, and the Blue Jays will be in the cellar, 5th place in the AL East.
Oh my God.
What are the odds?
Oh,
Someone
no.
who's smart find the odds on those, and I'm going to bet on it right now.
I'm pretty sure their Fangraphs odds of winning or getting a playoff spot are 0%.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. I would like literally like 6.5 games. If there wasn't like 4 teams ahead of them, I would say, you know what,
Listen,
go for it. But because there's 4 teams ahead of them, I think it does kind of.
That's one hot streak away from being right on the bubble.
That's but who are those teams? Texas could go up. They're all wild cards.
They beat Texas yesterday.
Yeah, they beat Texas yesterday.
I'm not saying
them today. They win today. They swap with them.
No, I know that.
But it'll be a half game behind them. But
the point basically is that yes, but it would take a bunch of work. And honestly, I think if you're the Orioles, you just continue the steady progress that you've made this season. Continue that progress with the guys you have now, and then you can really start pushing next season, especially to kind of get to the rest of the season, figure out if any players in the minors have taken significant jumps by the end of the year. If you want to incorporate any of those guys into your big league team next year, you wait, figure that out until the offseason, and then you decide on what big moves you want to make.
But you got to start making the big moves a little while out. You're not going to make
which is this offseason, I think. I think that's this offseason.
No, I think that's at this trade deadline. You make one at the trade deadline. So someone who can play next year, right? Doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be a long-term thing. Just someone who's going to be here next year also. So you have that guy solid for next year, right? And then you could build in free agency. And then who knows?
Yeah.
You heard it first here.
So,
I'm not going to buy the Blue Jays in 5th.
Do it, Birdland. Do it.
I'll leave you with this thought. Doug's trade deadline wish is somebody who can play next year. My trade deadline wish is please don't get rid of Trey Mancini. I think they're going to. In fact, I really think that they're going to. They've played him in the outfield like 15 times this year. And considering they already have 4 outfielders, it really seems like that's because they want to show his versatility. But this guy is like, I mean, the favoritist of fan favorites and such a beloved guy. And I just feel like, even if he is like a great piece to trade and you could probably get a lot back for him. Like, it's like how depressed Chicago was like the day after they got the Cubs, the day after they got rid of everybody last year. It was just like a sad day on the north side, and I feel like it'll be that same way. There's actually like people smiling at Camden Yards now. They get rid of Trey Mancini. That's going to be really, really sad.
What if they give him the Ray Bork treatment though and say, you know what, we're trading you to a team who we legitimately think will win the World Series?
No. No.
I just had to ask.
Listen, it'd be cool to see Trey Mancini be a World Series champion, but also I don't know. It just seems right. He's an Oriole. Yeah. And I know it's like that. Him and Mountcastle, and they got this weird first baseman DH thing, and it really like screws things up. But I don't know. I feel like you can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm with you, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, if he does get traded, hopefully he goes to a team that, if it's not the Yankees, or if it's not an AL East team, which I doubt it will be, hopefully it's a National League team. And if the Red Sox don't make it to the World Series, they win the World Series, hopefully.
On this video, my final thought is everyone watching this video, down in the comments below, throw some hate on Derrik for pooping on every good thing that we've said, that Patrick and I have said.
That's not true. Progress is key right now, and they're making progress. That's the big thing. But that's gonna wrap this one up. Thanks for checking out this Orioles video. They've been very good since the start of June, and actually even a little bit before that, starting off with that 5-game series win against the Red Sox. They've been good. There's nothing else to say. Bullpen's been elite. Everything's starting to seem to kind of turn the corner. And they got a very bright future ahead of them. Make sure to check out all the links in the description, the website, the podcast, the Instagram, the Twitter, plus all of the crew's Twitters. Make sure to leave a comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when we post. I post Monday through Friday daily. Make sure to check out the Grayson Rodriguez prospect pipeline if you missed it. And that's going to wrap it up. For Doug and Patrick, I'm Derrik. Thanks for tuning in to Bleacher Brawls, and we'll see you next time.